Lights, camera, action. How's everybody on this fine Monday? Hello there. We are here talking about simple tech-powered systems. What do you think of when you think of systems? When you hear that word, does it sound super boring and scary? I want to tell you a story. I was in maybe grade 8 and I was learning about home economics, and it was the day to make a cake in class. Let's go like this. And I had all my ingredients together, followed the instructions. I was so excited to be able to take this cake home to share with my family that evening. So I was about 12 or 13. So took it out of the oven. It looked awesome. I passed my class. And guess what happened when we cut it up? I got home. I was so excited. We had dinner and we were eating it for dessert. We cut it up and took a bite. Something's wrong. It tasted terrible. Well, it actually tasted bland. What happened? Can you guess what can sometimes happen when you're doing a task? You get distracted, or you forget where you are, forget what step you're up to. Maybe you're nervous and you're rushing. You forget one tiny little ingredient. Can you guess what I forgot? I forgot to put in the sugar. I couldn't believe it. I was so embarrassed. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Joyce. Glad to have you with us. So why am I telling you this story? What does cake have to do with business? I've been using cake a lot recently in posts and in ideas. I just like to use analogies of food. So I hope it makes sense to most people. I like to simplify what I'm talking about. So why is cake and baking important? A recipe can be likened to a system in your business, a mode of operation, a recipe for an outcome, a standard operating procedure. So if we have these checklists, these standards, our to-do list, aka a recipe, it helps make sure you don't forget anything along the way, like I did, missing that cake, putting the sugar in it. So this is going to help us make sure that we get that desired outcome. The same can be said in business. Just like a recipe for a cake, we need a recipe for our business. And in our business, there are a lot of different tasks that can be laid out in a list of things to do. Because even if you think about loading your dishwasher, if you're teaching your kids, if you have kids, to load the dishwasher for the first time, there's a few things that they need to do. Maybe you're in your home, you want people to rinse them off first. Maybe that's not necessary. Maybe you have a method of stacking. What can be one thing maybe that can be forgotten when we're just throwing things in and we want to move on to the next task? Maybe, I don't think this has ever happened in my family, but if you open that dishwasher and there's a distinct smell, and you know exactly what it is that's gone wrong. Can you guess? What did someone forget? They didn't forget sugar. Maybe they forgot to put in the soap. I don't remember if that's happened in our family, but my son's pretty good with doing the dishes in the dishwasher, so I don't think I've ever had to ask him about that. So all of these things can come together. Something small, one step forgotten, or something done the wrong way can have a big effect on the end result. So let's think of things within our business. Having a list of these things also helps you know what parts you could assign to someone else. Maybe you want to save time on things that don't necessarily have to be done directly by you. So you can go and spend time on more important tasks that only you can do, like teaching your classes or going live on social media. So thinking about different things that you do in your business. What about following up with interest in your program or services? Do you have a system for that? Do you have a system for keeping track of and following up with people? What about onboarding a new client? Onboarding a virtual assistant? Having a way to follow up with someone after they purchase maybe a digital product of yours, because you're not going to be directly interacting with them. A simple system can even be how you post your social media content. Do you use a content calendar? Why would you want to? Well, all of these things are going to help you as a business owner. If you're a solo business owner, these things are going to help you in a few different ways. So I wanted to highlight some of those as you look at my awesome backyard there on a windy day in Florida, a very warm day. So consistent brand presence. So following a regular schedule, people know when to expect your posts or your lives coming up. That can help create that familiarity. Never can say that word right. Familiarity. Probably didn't come out right. And people will recognize you by your font, your colors, the time that you post, the topics that you talk about. Another one is increased visibility and reach. When you're regularly posting on social media rewards you. They help expand your reach when you're consistent and your posts get sent out to more people, because not 100% of all of your followers see all of your posts. I was surprised. I didn't even really think about it when I first learned that. I think that was back in 2021. But it makes sense. If the social media platforms don't think your content is worthy, they're not going to serve it up to the masses. They're going to test it out on a few people first. And if those people are engaging and liking it, then they're going to push it out to more people. So what about a third one, building authority and credibility? So consistently sharing that valuable information and content positions you as an authority in your field. And that can help create that credibility and trust among your audience, which then, of course, leads to that more engagement, inquiries, and ultimately new clients. That's what we want to do. We want to share our knowledge with clients to help them achieve their goals. And also, here's another one that could help: engagement and relationship building. So when you're regularly posting on social media, that's allowing you to engage with your audience, respond to comments and messages. We're really building those relationships. I'll be talking more about this in the up and coming summit that starts tomorrow. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of today's session. And even planning, planning your content, having an organized way of knowing what to post when helps you save time. How? Because you have a set amount or a topic that you can cut up into smaller pieces and spread out over a week or a month. You're going to know exactly what to post, what you need to create ahead of time for that post, and how it relates to other things that are happening in your business. And so that really helps you with your overall marketing objectives and that consistent flow of content. It avoids having to scramble every day. Oh no, I didn't post today. What's going on? What am I going to talk about? I'll just throw something up there. We don't really want to be throwing up on social media. Let's show up well and prepared with a reason and something that we know is going to benefit our audience. So time management, of course, I love to talk about time management and efficiency. And by having that schedule for social media, you're going to manage your time. You can batch content ahead of time, especially if you're doing short videos or longer form videos. Then that also allows you to start using scheduling tools. There are free ones, there are paid ones. Even LinkedIn now has a native scheduler that you can use. which is fantastic. So this is going to really help planning ahead. That allows you to dedicate certain times of the week or month that you're just dedicated to that planning rather than 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. We can't expect to be concentrated with our efforts on one item for 5 minutes every single day if it takes a lot of forethought, and especially when we want something to consistently flow together for the month. So this also helps you with analyzing your data. So when you go back and look at your posts, which ones did well, which ones had questions, could you create more content from that? So that really helps. It gives you another database of information that you can use to help you in your efforts. So this can really help, having a social media schedule, content calendar. If you would like to know a little bit more about that, I will be teaching more about that in the summit coming up. It starts tomorrow. Let's have a look at this. So this is me, and we are this one here. The summit, teacherkristy.com/summit. It does start tomorrow. I myself will be one of the speakers. I'm very honored to be asked to speak about technology for teachers, and I'll be speaking live on the 19th, so on Wednesday. Today is Monday, but the entire 3-day summit starts tomorrow. If you need to learn more about it, you can go to my website, teacherkristy.com/summit. So getting back to my notes about social media content planning, we could use this one as an example for having a list, a standard operating procedure, or a recipe so that you don't forget to put the sugar in your content planning. So we really want to have a strategy. We want to have a laid out plan, just like you would search for your favorite recipe online because you know you want that end result. You know there's going to be great recipes. You need ingredients and you need a method. So we're going to figure out our own content strategy that is going to help propel our business forward. We need to know what types of content we want to share, different areas of social media or your own places of centralization, such as your website or your email list, and having that mix of different types of content will really keep your audience engaged. Again, I just mentioned about selecting which platform for which social media. So maybe you don't do a lot of videos on LinkedIn, but maybe Instagram is more about videos, but LinkedIn might be more carousel posts or text posts. Then having a schedule. How often are you going to post? How often can you be consistent? It's not about, oh, I must follow this schedule because everybody says so. What can you follow so that you will be consistent? You can always add to your schedule later, but being consistent is going to really help getting into a routine of planning ahead. Maybe you can schedule some things ahead to post when you're not physically going to do it, and coming back to look at those comments and engage with your audience later. So that's going to help there. And having a calendar can really help organize across all of those different platforms that you want to choose. Or if you're just on one, having an organized string of ideas that's going to lead to an outcome that you're looking for. I had a client a few months ago and he was so excited. You can read on my testimonials page, teacherkristy.com/testimonials, that he felt more organized and was using his time better. And I think he got at least one, if not, it might have been 2 clients within the next week of following that plan that we set out when we met together. And that's going to really help if you try that out for yourself as well. So having that visual consistency too. When people think of branding, they mainly think of colors and text. It can be many things. There are many things encompassed in branding. I'm not a branding expert at all, but just one of the things that I visually notice is that visual consistency, having the same few colors that you use, the text, the layout that you use, I've been trying to do less crazy things all around, like this blanket behind me. There's a lot happening on this blanket, so that can be called a busy background. So I'm looking at changing up some things, even myself, to make sure the message comes through rather than the mess. So that can be one thing to keep in mind too. And then engagement and community building. Social media isn't just about broadcasting our content, but it's about letting people know what we can help with, building relationships so that when someone has a need, they know where to go because you've been turning up consistently to help the community, your followers, your subscribers on your email list. So those were a few ideas. Today is going to be a shorter session, remembering that key to social media posting is consistency, whatever that looks like for you. It's not going to help if you throw up 7 posts throughout the week, one every single day, just for the sake of posting. We need to have quality so that it's going to help people and then they want more. So that's going to really help as well. And again, getting back to when you're posting, that gives you another database of information where you can analyze your metrics as well. And that can really help you know what you can post more of in the future. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, like I had mentioned, tomorrow is the beginning of the summit. I'll be speaking on the second day. If you go to my website, teacherkristy.com, you'll see the summit is here. And here are the tickets. So teacherkristy.com/summit, and you'll find all of the information here about what you can find on those 3 days. Buy your tickets there. It's hosted by James at Bowie Strategy. Steffi and Gemma will be speaking as well. And these are the 3 days where I'll be helping out on day 2. So these are, a full list of the speakers. I always hated in school that my last name started with a W and I was at the end of the list. And look at that, I'm at the end of the list again. These aren't in alphabetical order today, but just to let you know, it's going to be really fantastic for those, whether you're teaching kids or adults. It's going to really help propel your business forward. And I look forward to seeing some of you there and seeing what we're going to talk about. It's very exciting. So I am so happy that I could be here with you today. And I'm going to go back over here. And if you have any questions, you can always comment later underneath this post. If you aren't here live, I'd love to know where you were coming from. And if you have any questions, and I hope to see you in the summit. And if not, I will see you around on social media. If you have any questions specifically about systems, let me know. If you'd like to have a chat, send me a message. Let me know your situation, and maybe there's some tips I can share with you, or if you need to have a chat to see if there was some sessions that you'd like to have to help you really streamline your business rather than having things higgledy-piggledy all over the place and getting away from that feeling discombobulated. Loved learning that word. That was a new word for me. So let me know your favorite crazy word, and hopefully that's not how your business feels for you. So it's great to see you today. I am saying goodbye from Florida. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will talk to you next week on Monday. See you.